Pam, then whenever they roll on, you can say whenever we do have a quorum. You know.
All right. Okay. So let me go ahead and take roll officially. Chair Martin,
Here.
Vice Chair Hamilton, Secretary Witten, Regent Finan, Regent Alexandra Martin,
Here.
and Regent Rabinowitz.
Here.
We have 3 members present. We need 4 for a quorum. We may proceed without conducting any official business.
Okay. Can we throw up the agenda?
Yes.
I'm on my laptop and it's hard for me to do both.
This is my first meeting. Please bear with me.
We're perfectly fine.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Can you see are you seeing the agenda?
Yes. Can you scroll it down?
Yes.
Okay.
So we will not be able to approve the minutes, but we can talk about whether anyone had any recommendations for changes.
I don't see any.
Okay, we will at the next either board meeting or policy and planning meeting, we can officially approve those minutes.
Okay. Well, hopefully Keith or one of them will get on. Actually text him. He may have forgotten.
Or like me last meeting, I clicked on the wrong link, so I was sitting at the wrong meeting that was actually for this week and not the last one. Then I realized that.
Yeah. Okay, what's next on the agenda?
So walkthrough of the March agenda.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to walk through this. If you have questions, let me know. We'll do the call to order, the roll call vote, the open comment period. I don't think we've received any submissions for that yet. Approval of minutes, the chair's report, Chair Martin.
Okay.
And then President Quarles. I met briefly with him, and I think this is going to be a pretty lengthy report.
It'll be comprehensive. It's kind of unavoidable right now, but it'll be comprehensive.
Yeah.
And then we have an action item under learner success for the ratification of the candidates for credentials. Then we'll move on to the organization success. Pam will take us along with some of the Huron representatives to the Huron project. And then we'll have a report from the audit committee meeting, which is tomorrow. Then we have an action item. Buddy said that we actually have one of these. He was going to he'll give me some more information on the asset preservation construction projects. Next is another action item. The Board of Regents required reserves. President Quarles and Buddy will be talking on this action item. We have an action item for the ratification of personnel actions, and then an action item on quorum and voting procedures. I believe this one was reviewed last year and is ready for a vote. We have currently marked as an information item the KCTCS tuition. I think there may need to be some additional discussion about whether we move this to an action item based on budgetary concerns, but Dr. Quarles may want to talk to Chair Martin and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Buddy flagged this actually a few weeks ago for my information. My onboarding is the ability to know the tuition rate is going into the fiscal year instead of the June board meeting where I guess traditionally that action has been taken. Is that correct, Chair Martin?
Yeah, because it's kind of behind. I mean, it's hard for the presidents to budget if they
Yeah.
don't have that what they budget on is based on anticipation. And maybe because we know what CPE has allowed us for the increases, we probably should go ahead and maybe try to determine that, so the presidents can work on their budget.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what he's getting at.
it is.
Okay.
It's more of a getting the system on an alignment that coincides with CPE and also the General Assembly passing their budget out as well.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's appropriate and necessary.
Okay. Then we have another information item around budget scenarios and including employee compensation. Then we have the normal update with the financial report that Buddy will be doing. And then an information item around the strategic plan for 2022 through 2026, key performance indicator targets. And then we'll be walking through the 2024 calendar. And then I think for the executive session, if we determine that we do not need both of these, we can remove one from the agenda if it's only either litigation or personnel matters. And I think next meeting and adjournment.
Okay. And Dr. Quarles, I'll make the chair report really kind of short and sweet, because a lot of the stuff that you will be covering is probably the stuff that I'd be talking. So we would just kind of don't want to duplicate those conversations. So I'll give you more time to give your comprehensive review. How's that?
Right.
'Cause
Thank
we
you.
will be pressed for time, trying to get everything in one day. And we definitely need to be prepared for a discussion for the Huron project and the comp class and budgets. That's probably going to be a lot of our discussion points.
Yeah. And Mr. Chairman and Board of Regents, I reviewed this proposed agenda. I don't have any recommendations from my end because my president's report will kind of be a catch-all for multiple issues.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we always have to pretty much look at proposed or pending litigation, do we not?
I would advise it just in the sake of transparency and knowing what's going on here. Yes.
Yeah.
We
And I
do. We don't always talk about personnel matters, though, and that's what I would like to ensure that we don't cause confusion by some, but unless we actually do have a personnel matter to discuss, which at this point we don't. So if it turns out that that is not needed, I would like to take it off the executive session so no questions are raised.
Pam and Ryan, that's totally up to you guys.
Okay. Well, since we can't take action unless we have a quorum in this meeting, we'll just to be determined. We'll come back to you.
We can do that.
I do have a question for you, Chairman. Which room would you like to use? Would you like to use the board room on the second floor, or would you like to use the larger conference room on the first floor? We'll set it up either way that you want to do it.
It seems like there's kind of more room. It seems like we have quite a few that attends. I'm not sure if the boardroom will hold everyone. I don't know. What do you think, Pam?
So I think that I can certainly discuss with Dr. Quarles, but I do believe that we need to be accessible to the public, and it is more accessible in the conference room. I mean, in the downstairs conference room.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think let's go with
All
that.
right. Sounds good. Okay.
I believe new business is next.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Shannon?
I said, I believe on our agenda for today, I believe new business is next. I didn't know
Okay.
if anybody had any other business.
I don't, and we don't have anybody else that's come on board, have we, Pam?
No, no one else. We still do not have a quorum.
Okay, I did text Keith, and he has not responded. So who else are we missing? I know that Brianna won't be able to make it, but who else?
Right. So Secretary Witten, Regent Finan, and Regent Green are not here, as well as Vice Chair Hamilton.
Okay.
So our quorum is 4, and we only have 3.
Okay. Well, I mean, luckily there's nothing that stops us from
Right.
approving this at the board meeting itself. So.
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
this agenda can be worked on. It is, and certainly the minutes can be approved then as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. Any new business?
Mr. Chairman, I don't. Again, I'm looking forward to a one-day meeting, and we'll see if that works.
Okay.
And then, a quick turnaround for Boston. And then by June, session will be over with, and we'll be in a different phase with onboarding. Yep.
Okay, good. Let's just make sure that we have all the information by Monday. So if anybody has any questions, they can get those out before Thursday of our board meeting. And just make sure that we have our ducks in a row with comp and class and our budgets with good proposals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Great.
Anything else on the agenda, Shannon?
Not next meeting and
Next
adjournment.
meeting. Okay. I see
Mr.
it.
Chairman, the only thing I've got is Kelly, I'm gonna text you, see if we can get together and talk at some point, maybe next week, and just catch up. Be good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes.
And thanks for being at the chamber dinner too. That was great.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting your husband.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
He's a talker.
That's all right. It was enjoyable. So, okay, then if there's, our next meeting is what day?
I don't have a date. Is there a
Okay.
normally scheduled one?
Can't remember.
We do typically have one before the board meeting, but because the board meeting will be a special called meeting set for the 14th as a rescheduled regular meeting, then we likely do not have one currently scheduled for the policy and planning. So we will return and revisit that, whether we need one.
So we'll probably have one in May for our June meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Good.
We can determine that, and you can send that out, Shannon. when we
Okay,
figure it
sounds
out.
good.
Okay, then, if there's nothing else, do I hear, well, if we can't make a
Well,
motion for adjournment,
We can just ease on down the road, I suppose.
Yep, we can just kind of go away soft and silently. So you all have a good rest of the day, and you take care, and we'll be on there for the audit committee meeting. And Shannon?
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know if I would need to report the audit committee or would Russ? Is Russ going to be there?
I haven't heard. We can check tomorrow with him.
Because he's the chair of the audit committee, and typically the chair would give that report. Not to say that I can't and won't, but if he's there, typically he would give the report. If he's not there, then I can step in.
Okay, I'll change that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, see y'all later.
Bye.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.